So this is the first episode of the A-Listers. We went to see Venom. This was a movie that I was actually looking forward to seeing, although I was unsure if it was going to be as good as I thought, because we've had a lot of movies that we went to see this year that thought were going to be pretty good, and some of them weren't quite as good.
Yeah, to say the least.
So, but this one was good. It was definitely good. It was not quite what I thought it was going to be, because knowing it was going to be about Venom, which is kind of a more villainous sort of character, I kind of thought it would maybe go a little bit more darker route, but it really didn't do that. It was very
kind of lighthearted, very comedic in a way.
Yeah, it was lighthearted, but it was like not bloody at all.
No,
I mean, it's not like like even when there were deaths in there, like when he's biting off heads,
see no blood or anything like that.
Cut away from it. Yeah, so that aspect of it, it's definitely something that there's I don't really remember any real like cussing in the movie either.
No, there might have just been one or two things, but there were no F-bombs, there were no S words. I think they probably might have said HELL a couple of times, but that I really am not even too sure upon.
Yeah, I mean, like, if I can go through a movie and not really remember anything too much in that realm of it, it was definitely not. And to be honest, to get a movie about Venom again, it's, I expected something maybe a little more hardcore, but I'm actually fine with the fact that it wasn't. I mean, it probably wasn't as good as I think it could have been, but I do think it was definitely very good. It's kind of like, to me, I think of it like, you remember when The Dark Knight, what was it? Batman Begins, when Christopher Nolan trilogy first started. Yeah. It's like, the movie was really good. It was a lot better.
Yeah, because we had like some really low expectations of it when we first saw the previews of it, but then going into actually watching it, we were kind of surprised by it, I think.
Right. Yeah. It was surprisingly good. This movie I kind of expected would actually probably be better, although I had heard some bad things from some people saying skip it, don't even go see it, or wait till it's at Netflix. Well, that's just people I know on Facebook. And it wasn't many, but it's just some people said, wait till it's on Netflix, it's not worth it. But then their own friends were saying, in your opinion. So they were even disagreeing amongst themselves. I thought it was definitely a lot better than, say, it capitalized, but the reason, going back to that about Batman Begins, the main thing was the movie was good, but actually, much like in Batman Begins, you remember what the best part of Batman Begins was when you first watched that movie? It was the end, when you got to find out who the villain was for the sequel. Yeah. Right? When he said, the Joker's going to be in the sequel.
Oh my gosh.
It's like really exciting.
Like, dang it, I want to watch that movie now.
Well, Venom has a point at the end of the movie.
The part where till the credits start rolling, you don't have to wait till the exact end of it for this part to happen, but it's just when you see it rolling, it's like, oh, you know what's coming.
Yeah,
you know exactly what's coming.
So basically, it's like the best part of the movie, even though the movie's good, the best part is actually at the first post-credit scene when you're anticipating who's going to be in the next movie. Yeah. So we're not going to spoil any of that, but not only do you get to know the character, but the actor that's going to be playing the character too, which that part
was an interesting selection choice for that character.
Very interesting. I'm actually really looking forward to.
There were people actually. I could hear somebody behind me saying, "Yes, yes, yes."
And I don't know if he was saying that because of the character,
or the actor.
Right.
The actor choice. I'm not sure, but he was like, "Yes, yes."
Yeah, it was. That was pretty good. But yeah, it kind of reminded me of that. But it was good. It was definitely what they did in terms of, going through it and the action sequences and the story. While it wasn't a great storyline, it really relied a lot on the action sequences in the movie.
It almost sort of seemed a little cliche to me.
Yes, there was a moment in the movie, I can't remember what it was, but there was a part of the movie where I felt like, okay, it's going through a very common formula, and I was worried that it was going to be not good then. Because there was this kind of setup where you're like, okay, this is going to happen with this person, this is going to happen with this person, and, you know, it's like it's setting up all that stuff, which it did, but it didn't really focus on that too much, which is kind of what I was worried about, because a lot of movies do that. The thing that I really thought was good is it was just an enjoyable movie. You know, it wasn't too serious or whatnot. It wasn't meant to be that kind of movie, but it did what movies like Jurassic World: Fallen Kingdom failed. You know, those movies are designed for entertainment value. This movie was entertaining. Jurassic Park: Fallen Kingdom was depressing, tried to be serious, but then at the same time not serious. Followed too many formulas from its previous movies and whatnot. It was a mess, is all I can say. There was really nothing. The more I think about the movie since we had seen it, the more I hate the movie now, because it's I hated
it going.
Well, sometimes
I know, but I hated it immediately after.
I know with you, with you, it's like
it was just a really emotional roller coaster for me.
But see, I can be emotional about a movie and not hate it. But with you, it's like, if it's emotional, it's like, I hate it. It's like, oh, that made me cry, I hate it.
Well, no, I mean, when you look at War Horse, I mean, yeah, that made me cry, but I didn't hate it.
Yeah, that's true.
It's sad, but it does have a good ending.
Yeah, that's true, I guess. But it just seems like almost any movie, if you're not expecting, because War Horse, you were kind of expecting that.
Yeah.
But although you were supposed to be expecting it in the Marvel Infinity War too, but I guess you didn't expect the ending to be the way it was. that was pretty bad. But there's a sequel, so I mean they can always redeem themselves. But you know, a lot of times with movies, I watch it and I have an initial reaction, and then if I give it time, some things may change on it. The thing that's changed with me with like Jurassic World is, it's like I thought it was okay, definitely not as good as like at least 3 of them, but now I'm starting to lean towards it may be the worst one of all of them to me.
Yeah.
Even worse than 3, which I didn't like 3, but I think there is an entertainment value with 3 that you just don't get with Fallen Kingdom. So, but going back to Venom does this. It's entertainment. It is fun. It may not be one of the best movies I've seen this year. You know, we've seen a lot of them. We'll probably do a top 10 or something like that at the end of the year.
Yeah.
But, and this one might not make it. I mean, if it does, it'll be in the low top 10 probably, but it's definitely good. It's definitely
worth it. It's a good movie.
Seeing.
The acting's really good in there. It's just funny. I mean, Tom Hardy does a really good job in it. He's a great actor. But, I did notice a couple of times that his English accent I picked up on his English accent in a couple of words.
That's the stuff I never really pay that much attention to that much.
But it's so subtle though. So just because I know that he's a British actor, so I pick up on that.
Well, Tom Hardy, you said it. Tom Hardy was great.
Yeah.
But I expected that. To be honest, when I saw Venom was coming out and it had Tom Hardy in it, that's one thing that really sold me. Because like compared to the other Venom movie, which was Spider-Man 3, when they got Topher Grace, I'm like, Topher
from
Grace.
That 70s show, Eric.
Topher Grace
doesn't exactly look like the part of Eddie.
I mean, okay. I mean, he's not. I guess because Tobey Maguire.
I guess because they're similar towards each other. They try to kind of make him look a little like Tobey Maguire.
And that's kind of the way it was in the cartoon, because they were both beefier people, but in the cartoon, so Eddie Brock was more of a tough guy, but I don't know. I just never saw that in Spider-Man 3, Topher Grace, even when he became Venom too, and he's like evil. I'm like,
yeah, Yeah.
this don't look right to me. I don't know.
And it was just so trippy about every time when he was talking to Peter Parker, when he was dressed up as Venom, and then the Venom costume would reveal off of his face, and he had those sharp teeth still. Like, that's kind of weird, and it kind of takes away from Venom's actual character. You don't really get much of Venom in Spider-Man 3.
Yeah, that didn't really work for me. But when I heard Tom Hardy I was like, oh yeah, Tom Hardy definitely will work. And he did.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't play it quite the way I thought he was going to. He was a little more laid back, I feel like. But I thought that worked because
it works for it.
Because he made Eddie Brock actually a much more likable character than I've ever experienced before.
Because I honestly thought he was going to be a jerk. Honestly.
Yeah, I mean, he was really, and I think that's good for the movie because you want somebody who's
likable.
And actually, it works for like Venom too, because I did not expect Venom to have a kind of personality other than just being kind of controlling. Because even from the trailer, that's what I got. But Venom actually, showed some personality in its voice characters. I did not expect that. I like that, though. Mm-hmm. I thought that was the highlight of the movie, for the most part, is Venom and Tom Hardy's, the kind of interaction that they had with each other and how that worked. I thought that was real good. But, it's kind of surprising. It's not surprising, but you think Tom Hardy, it's like, this is a guy who's been Bane, he's been Mad Max,
he's been in an Inception, and Star Trek Nemesis.
Yeah, but I mean, you think about that. Bane, you're like talking about big
beefy looking guy.
With in the Batman universe, villain. Then he's Mad Max, heroic character, but really tough and serious. Mm-hmm. And then he's Eddie Brock, who's not really tough guy. He's a journalist that really gets under people's skins and investigative journalist, but he's not like a tough guy. He in the movie, Venom's kind of like the tough guy to his sort of more.
He just seems like the kind of guy that you want to get to know.
Right, but it's kind of a different. Like, he's done all these different types of characters. Mm-hmm. And this is another.
This is
another one that works.
I'm used to seeing him do.
Right. Yeah. I mean, that's why one of the reasons I thought it was going to be a little more serious, because that's kind of more what I expected him to play. Mm-hmm. But it worked. I mean, that's to me that's good. So overall in the movie, I think it's definitely thumbs up on that. I would say it's good. We saw it in the IMAX, so we got a good experience with it. I thought that worked out well too.
Yeah, I really enjoyed when the big action parts and the music, how you just feel the vibrations in your chair. Mm-hmm. That works out really well.
I think that only happens in the IMAX.
Yeah, because it doesn't happen in any of the other theaters.
So, Venom was definitely good. It is also a little bit different story-wise than like the Spider-Man story that I'm used to, but I think that worked well for this because, again, you want to create a more likable character with the Venom character if you're going to have him as a protagonist in his own movies moving forward. So I thought that was good in how they adjusted that. So I'm looking forward to a potential sequel in the future. We didn't really get to see too many of the trailers. For some reason, they were already starting the trailers when we got in, and we got in
exactly at 7, and they were already rolling. It wasn't even the preview part; it was the trailers that they were showing.
Yeah, I don't think there was anything real significant. They showed some new trailers of a few movies.
There is just one movie that I really want to see.
What's that?
And that's because I saw Split. Now I feel like I've got to see the other movie that I hadn't seen because I didn't know that they were in connection to each other.
Yeah, well, I don't
that
think
Bruce
nobody
Willis
knew going
and
into
that
it.
Shyamalan movie.
Yeah, Unbreakable.
Yeah, that's the one that I want to see so that I can understand this movie that's going to be Glass.
It looks good.
That looks really good. Yeah.
I haven't watched either one, so I gotta watch both of them. So But that's coming a little bit later in the year. I think the Goosebumps movie is the next one coming out, so we may try to go see that one. I don't know when that'll be. Hopefully it'll be next week, but we'll see. So it's about 15 minutes. We're going to try to wrap this up here and head on home. So thank you all for watching, and we'll see you around in future episodes of the A-List Club. Bye.